Today we're going to be talking about Kanye West. What's up everybody, my name is Notori and welcome to the LETTUCEBABE YouTube channel. So if you don't know who I am, I both run LETTUCEBABE, our social media platforms, and I'm a photographer and a chef. So if you want to follow me personally, I'll have my social media link down below. But as far as this channel is concerned, this is where you're going to find everything concerning brown living. We're going to be talking about news, food, nutrition, music, all facets of life and lifestyle. So if that interests you, definitely subscribe, because we're going to be posting pretty frequently, and I'm going to bring on some other people here and there so that it's not just me, because you can get tired of seeing this glasses to do-rag ratio. I'm positive of it, which by the way, I'm setting my waves, so just please be advised. Apart from that, today we're going to be talking about Kanye West. Okay, so I want to preface this by saying I am not hurt. I am not going to meet you with rage in this subject, because although I am a lover and patron of music, like, I mean, it runs really deep and I'm really versed in it, meaning that I listen to a lot of different types of music, and I really like to seek quality in music, but so I can appreciate him for that. But I feel as though the self-righteousness and the way that he comes across is off-putting to me, regardless of his opinions and how he addresses them. I just find myself uninterested, just blatantly uninterested in what he's got going on, and even more so now that I know about this like Trump situation. So I first found out about it on Instagram. That's where you kind of find out about everything that's like raggedy in news on Instagram. Twitter is where I am appropriately informed. Instagram is where I'm just shocked and awed at this point. So of course I log on to my Instagram and I'm seeing a lot of screenshotted tweets of his on my Instagram, and I'm like, oh, what is this about? So I read them and I'm like, what? I mean, excuse me, you said what? Like, I'm really confused because I don't get it. And then I went to my Twitter, and even though I don't follow Kanye on any of my platforms, because I have, you know, personal ones and professional ones, I don't follow him on any of those. But still yet, homeboy was all up and through my tweets, okay? And at first it was kind of like inspirational, or it was like all those like long paragraph tweets or whatever, and then it was like the Trump stuff, and I'm like, oh goodness. So he's kind of up there with like an Omarosa, a Stacey Dash, you know what I'm talking about. And in that right, I feel like although you're entitled to your opinion, that is not the argument here. I'm never gonna be hurt about that. You can say whatever you feel like. You're always going to have that freedom to me. But there's something to be said about not only people, but people of color who follow the likelihood and actions of Donald Trump, simply because he himself opposes a lot of different people and their groups and their lifestyles unwarranted. Like, I mean, they have the freedom to live their lives. They did not choose to be a certain race or be a certain sexual orientation or to be in a certain place in the world. They didn't choose that. You know what I mean? Like, a lot of these things they were just born into. You can't control that. So it's kind of skewed of him to say a lot of the things that he says and then just not care how that makes anyone feel. And to me, if you're following someone with those kind of demeanors and morals, that says a lot about you as a person, because why would you want to? You know what I mean? And then because, you know, black people, we will cape all day and all night for people that we really liked, in the beginning, people who inspired us when we were younger, people whose music we used to blast, who got us into rap or got us into rapping, like all these different and many facets that I understand, I respect, but that doesn't deter you at all from what that person puts into the world and how they correlate with like political things. Like, to me, that's just so strange. How are you so easily separating their craft from them and their essence as a person? How is that? How is the line so very thin that you can just do that and it's not a big deal? That to me is crazy. That's like right up there with, oh, you know, I got some white friends and they can say nigga, but they can't say a hard R. That is like wrong, period. Like, that will get your head boxed. But anything before that is okay, depending on the group that I'm in when you say it. So that's crazy. It's like, why is there a double standard? Why is there a thin line? Why is there any kind of separation between the two? Why can't you just kind of be definitive about either? The same thing can be said about Bill Cosby this week, R. Kelly since like the beginning of time, Nas apparently, Fab. There's a lot of African American males in the media who have been kind of spotlighted in what they've been doing behind closed doors or what they said, and it's like, so it doesn't matter to you that they're kind of whack? You still want to bump their music? Like, that's crazy. And then of course, like I said before, people who really like Kanye's music, I saw some people kind of like on my Instagram like posting videos, or like YouTube posting videos and saying like, you know, I really love his music and man, that Dropout album was the best album I never heard of. Okay, we get it, we got it. But although they love his discography and those first 2 or 3 albums, until he says something about their mom or black people specifically, like he has to come out his throat and say something, I guess, outlandish, that is when they will pretty much cancel their support for him. And I'm like, okay, so Kanye doesn't know me personally. Kanye's never been an idol of mine, and that's okay. And I've never sent him anything that's like, hey Kanye, will you perform my prom? Or hey Kanye, I listened to your song, will you listen to my music? I've never sent him anything like that that maybe would in hopes get his attention or try to build some type of relationship with him or something like that, because I like him so much. I've just listened to a few of his songs here and there, and that's kind of where my exploration in his music has stopped. And now, given his opinions and what he's got going on, like, sayonara, arrivederci. Awesome, you gotta go, son. Honestly, like, that's it. Like, I feel like I wasn't that tied to him before, and I'm certainly not now. So with that being said, before I forget, let's go ahead and read some tweets from some people who probably have way more opinions than I do. Okay, so I typed in Kanye West into the Twitter search, and I decided to categorize it as latest instead of top, because top is sometimes really skewed. I want to get people's legit, people like you and I's opinions. So one girl says, Kim Kardashian calling her husband Kanye West a genius for ejecting verbal diarrhea on Twitter about mediocre ideas that have been heard 1,000 times is a testament to her not having any sort of original or interesting characteristics. She is very much a hollow shell. So I just first want to say, this sentence was high-key a run-on sentence. I mean, you know, this has not anything directly to do with Kanye, but okay. And then I saw a tweet today, like a Twitter headline, about Donald Trump. Oh, what is it? Hold on, I sent it to my friend because I was actually so outraged. Okay, President Trump applauds Kanye West's great service to the black community. Who had a great service to the black community? Then Kanye came out of his neck and said Barack Obama's been in office for 8 years and he didn't do anything for Chicago. You've been a public figure for 14. What have you done? Where's the community outreach? Where's cleaning up the city? Where is, you know, organizing lunches for kids and like a bunch of really cool things to get you immersed in your city? Where is that? People are speaking for him in his character, saying that they feel like he's a good guy deep down inside, but you don't know him personally. But to me, if you're a good person in closed doors, that's gonna naturally shine in the forefront. People who are full of positivity and full of light they can't help that if they tried, you know what I mean? Like, that's gonna be in them and you're gonna see it. It's gonna exude all over the place. So it's just kind of interesting to me that people feel as though they really know his essence of a person just from their music, I guess, and know exactly what kind of guy he is. I don't know, it just seems kind of strange. Another girl said the only reason Kanye West is tweeting his support for Trump is because he has new music coming out and is basically irrelevant now and referred to as Kanye Kardashian. Like, get out of here with that ish. So that's another argument. People feel like I said, you know, Kanye is a get out kind of situation. He's in the sunken place, and like he's kind of morphed into a Kardashian life versus being Kanye West, like his own entity, his own person. I feel as though he is quite precise of a person, so I don't really get the vibe that he's doing this for music publicity. But if he was, I mean, that's not taboo, that's actually quite normal. I mean, ask the beauty community in that Tarte Shape Foundation. I mean, come on. But still, I feel as though that was shady. I feel as though he's not new to, you know, sharing his opinions and being a little more radical about how he feels. And that's all for today's video. If you guys liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe. I'll be posting news related content on Fridays now, so anything to do with brown living and Black lives. And then on Monday is where I'll be putting our missing persons podcast content. So anything regarding missing people of color will be on Mondays on this channel. Tell your friends, because it's going to be very interesting, and I just really like sharing that type of content because people really need to be talked about and they need light brought to their cases. So like I said, definitely make sure to subscribe, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.